Welcome to Fanning Out, a podcast where we dig into our fandom. I'm Valerie Gritch, an independent fan study scholar who wants to share our interests and examine why we feel the way we do about them. Basically, why does that thing matter to you and why should it matter to everyone else too? Let's get into it together. To this episode, I am joined by Olivia. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Olivia. Um, People know me on the internet, the dozens of them that know me on the internet as Liv the Ripper. Um, Fan of all things. I have known Valerie for how long have I known you?
A very long time.
I think I did the math and I think I found the first picture of us.
Uh-huh.
I think it was 2007.
I think that's right.
I think that's right, and that's terrifying.
Terrifying.
That is a long time.
I'm very old.
I'm up there.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it, but when I
No.
was looking back, I'm like, 2007. That's how
Yeah.
long we've known each other in the fandom happenings.
In the fandom world. And we know
Yeah,
each other primarily because of the wonderful Christopher Gutierrez.
we love him. We know him.
He of Grenade Jumper by Fall Out Boy fame, the Hey
Yes.
Chris the song sings of. We adore him. He's an independent author, and now he takes care of kitty cats. And
Yes, and that is the best thing
yeah,
in the world that he's saving the cats.
he's
I
the
love that.
Chris. You will never hear this, but we love you.
He may hear it. I
You
don't
may hear.
know.
Yes,
He may hear it and we love you.
we love you, Chris.
Yeah.
But our Chris fandom is not why we're here today. So why
No, it is not.
we're here today? Who are we talking about?
Well, I am, I have my toes in a bunch of fandoms, but the one that has made me fanning out for as long as 22 years is this small local, totally not, no one knows anything about them, My Chemical Romance from New Jersey.
We love
That's why I'm here.
we love them.
Yes.
And how did you become a fan of My Chemical Romance?
Oh God. It's funny because it's like the chicken or the egg thing
Yeah.
with me because I can't remember what happened first. It
Okay.
was either, it was summer of 2004 and I was hooked to Fuse TV like we
When they
all were.
put music.
Yes, when they when the TV played music. Remember when we could watch music videos on TV? That was cool. Um, and I remember seeing the first video of the I'm Not Okay music video, not directed by Mark Webb, not the theatrical one, but they're just like live show, like cutaway music video. I remember watching that and I was hooked. But there's also another scenario where I was as a younger sibling, as I am the baby of my family. I was snooping through one of my sister's bedrooms, my middle sister. I'm sorry, Melanie, if you're watching this. Um, I saw that she had My Chemical Romance's sophomore album, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, in her CD collection, and I stole it and burnt a copy of it, and I loved it, and I was about 9 years old, at 9 or 10 years old at the time. So I don't know if it was the music video first
Yeah.
or the stealing of the CD and burning it for my own collection that did it, but that is when this all started, was the summer of 2004.
That's incredible that you can trace it back to almost the exact moment of one of those
Yeah.
two moments, and both of them standing out so distinctly for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but really did it though, because like I was like from that moment I was hooked in and like drew me in. But about a year later, they were playing the 2005 Warped Tour. They were playing Randall's Island, and I had my dad take me. And I remember that was like the turning point when like everything just kind of clicked. It
Yeah.
was like I was freshly 11 years old, I think, when I went to that show. And it was just like that community of it that
Yeah.
really drew me in and like realizing this is the place where I belong. Like you finally found that groove where it was like I remember being so small. I was 11 years old, so I was probably 2 feet tall and
Oh,
like just so tiny. And I'm only a foot taller now, so you know. And I remember like other fans in the crowd were like willing to hoist me up on their shoulders so I could see the show. And that was just like I took so much away from that day that it was like there was no turning back. Like even though I was just like listening to their music and obtaining all of the content that I could at that time, whether it was through message boards or whatever it was at that time, um, that show is what really shifted everything for me. That this was like this is my life now. This
yeah.
is what's important.
And how special that it was a Warped Tour as well, where it's
Yeah,
just the one band, wham band, and you're done. You get the whole
everything.
the whole
I
thing there.
I saw Hawthorne Heights that day, Avenged Sevenfold, Dropkick Murphys, The Offspring. Like I didn't see Fall Out Boy that day. I
Surprising.
think they were actually after My Chem. I think My Chem was playing before Fall Out Boy set that day.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't get to see them. I went home because I was haggard at
Yeah.
the end of that day. I was there from like literally 9 a.m. until 6:30 or whenever when my chem came on. So I missed Fall Out Boy that day. But that day really opened up so much music to me.
Right.
Like obviously I was watching Fuse and I was watching all of that, but like seeing everything in person and experiencing it in person was just such a life altering moment, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
So obviously you go to concerts. So how else do
Oh,
you
all the time.
fan out? How does your fan
Oh,
manifest itself? Any stories from particular concerts you want to share? Any collection highlights of yours?
ooh.
Go
I
for it.
mean, yeah, I mean, how do I fan out? The answer is how do I not fan out? That's the shorter list. Um, I mean, now it is concerts,
Mhm.
but like I have been a collector for so long in terms of just weird niche products of this band. They have their line of really niche action figures. That was my first big purchase of theirs
Yeah.
when they came out in like 2006-ish, 2005. Um, and you know, all old t-shirts. And one of my prized possessions that I have is a collection of original Polaroids of the band from their first album,
Oh,
like their promo days of their first album.
yeah.
And
How did you get that?
I got them on eBay from their original photographer that was unloading some of his old collection.
That is bonkers.
And I wish I had them with me, but they're in my other shrine at my parents' house in my teenage room. And I love those to bits and just random pieces of clothing. Like one of my all-time favorites was the singer of the band Gerard Way came out with a collaboration with Hurley,
Mhm.
and he did a blazer, this beautiful jacket. The It's called the prom night jacket, and it's gorgeous. And I secured that during COVID, and because I never got it when I was a kid, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna outgrow it, which that is something that I like regret every single day of my life. All of the t-shirts and stuff that I bought when I was like 10
Yeah.
that like I can maybe fit like an arm in now. Like that
Or
collection
you
would
weren't
be
thinking you had to size up for the future.
right. I was thinking like, oh, I'm a youth medium now. I'm not a youth medium now. And now I'm like, I don't have any of those shirts anymore. But I've been like slowly rebuilding that collection into like current me size. Um, but in terms of everything else, it's now the shows. Like that's the most important part of this. And like My Chemical Romance, for those people that don't know, they broke up in 2013. So prior to 2013, I had seen them about 8 times or so, always with my dad. He's always been my concert buddy. I went with friends occasionally, but he was my tried and true concert buddy through all of that.
Guy.
And he's the best. We love my dad. And and then when they broke up, I was like, obviously very, very heartbroken. It was traumatic and awful. Um, but the thing that hit me during that time was I'm never going to experience that again, like with my dad, or at the time with my fresh boyfriend, now my husband,
Uh-huh.
that I was like, I'm never going to experience that with him. And that killed me. That destroyed me. And when they came back on Halloween in 2019, I was like fresh into my big girl job.
I'm an
And I was like, so
adult money.
this is what the adult money is for. And I made it a point to be like, I will, if they're within a certain mile radius of my home, I'm going.
Yeah.
And so I've made it a point, that I saw them 3 times on their return tour, and I got to bring my now husband, then fiance, I guess. Um, and that was life changing. And, seeing them again 2 more times last summer with my husband and my dad. And then even this summer, going to get to see them again. And I get to bring my mom
Oh,
this
that's so,
time. And she's never gotten to see them, but she's
it's truly
heard.
a family affair.
It is now a family affair. Like my sisters have both seen them, but like I was like, my mom needs to see this band.
Yeah.
Like she's seen all the music videos, she's seen all the live shows. Now it is the time to savor this moment together, and that's what I'm so excited for, to share these moments of community with them. And even the shows these days have gotten so much fun, like with fan projects and things like that that are just so beautiful, like people organizing to put like little colored pieces of paper over your phone light during certain songs to turn a stadium all one color. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous, and seeing just like every individual fan doing something and showing up for that really cool thing. And the whole Swiftie movement with the friendship bracelets, that's so beautiful, and I love that. And I have a lot of friendship bracelets to make before this summer, but I'm ready. I have my supplies.
That's awesome.
So that's my way of fanning out for this wonderful, wonderful band.
So you touched on this a little bit, that what it means to you, but what is it like? Like, what's the crux of it? Like, how does it feel to be in your body at one of these shows? Is it like, obviously it's enjoyable, but
It's enjoyable.
to say the least.
It's enjoyable, but it's truly out of body level. It's
Hmm.
just like
When you bring somebody else, what are you hoping they get out of it, I guess, is the better question.
it's the same joy. I want them to experience the same joy that
Mhm.
I get, and that same raw, wonderful emotion that I get every single time I listen to them. And
Mhm.
I feel like seeing them live is so important to get that,
Yeah.
because that energy is unmatched between crowd and band. Um, and just experiencing these like little moments like during the show that are just so special. Like there was this one song, Famous Last Words, which is one of my favorites. I have the lyrics tattooed on me, which that's another way of
Yeah.
fanning out, is the several my chem tattoos that I have. Um, there's this song, Famous Last Words, where there's the bridge where the band completely cuts out and everyone sings.
Mhm.
And like that was the first thing I thought of when the band broke up, is I'm never going to hear that again.
Oh no.
And then hearing that again is like
Right.
40 daggers in the heart. And
Just
every time I go, I have to record it. I have to savor it. I have to be like,
absolutely.
this is why we're here. This
Yeah.
is that beautiful moment why we're here. Um, and I really want to share the things that I love with the people that I love the most. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love moments like that when the crowd kind of takes over
Yeah.
and shows just how powerful like the individual coming in mass can be.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just, and there's so many moments like that, just whether it's, like crap, because like this is My Chemical Romance is a very theatrical band.
Hmm.
They coincide a lot with my love of musical theater and theatrics and being over the top.
Yeah.
So there's fan participation that's involved. That's can be very loud and boisterous. Like they have a execution that happens during this last tour, which
Tell me
is
more about
in
that.
so this whole tour is very, well, at least the last tour, I don't know if they're
Mhm.
continuing it on this summer, um, has all been based on a dictatorship run government called Drog.
Mhm.
And they play for their dictator every night. And they're putting on this nice little show for the guy. And during the show, they have what fans call it as an electrocution. So you are given a sign that says yay or nay
Mhm.
during the shows, and before a song, they come out and they say, "Okay, do you want these people to die? Yes or no?" It doesn't matter what the crowd says.
Mhm.
It could be the yay or the nay goes up, and then either way, everyone dies, which is a wonderful parallel to the government
Yeah.
right now. So it's like for anyone that says My Chem is not a political band,
What
go
are you?
see one of their shows.
Yeah.
They have a lot of commentary on what's going on right now. Um, so like things like that where it's like you have these fan participation moments that are just like it's loud and fun and it's so fun and wonderful even though
Yeah.
people die at the end of it.
It's like making an omelet. You got to crack a few eggs, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, have you ever done any pilgrimages for my chem, like just
Yes.
to like special venues, perhaps, or cities, or like music video locations? I know the Helena music video is always a very popular
I
one.
know. And I wish I could go, but I'm terrified of flying.
All the way in LA, isn't it?
It's all the way in LA, and I would love to go to that church
Hmm.
more than anything because I know they even have like I forgot what it's called. I don't know if it's called like the Ghouls Day Out or something, where they have like vendors and stuff
Oh, that's
come to the church to like pay homage to this music video and this scene, and it's wonderful. So I've never gone to the Helena Church. I would love to.
sounds like you need
Um,
that, my friend.
I need something, and I need a lot of something to get me on the plane
Yeah.
to get there because I'm terrified. But I mean, I've traveled, over last summer, I did go to Boston to see them. That's one of my favorite cities in the world. That's where I went for my honeymoon with my husband. So it was nice to like go there with him and see them play in Boston. And they even played like during one of their B stage extra songs, like Our Wedding Song, which was
Oh,
Summertime.
nice.
And like that was just so nice to experience that in Boston. And this summer I'm going to DC to see them, which is really fun. And even just going to see them in New Jersey is the best. Like it's that energy is unmatched. Like I saw them play a sold out MetLife Stadium last summer,
Wow.
which it's crazy because it's a stone's throw away from their hometown and they were delivered the keys to their hometown during that show. And there I am crying,
Of course,
bawling my eyes out because I'm like, those are my boys.
your little baby.
My little baby 40 something year old men from New Jersey. Like there I am crying and getting emotional over these guys, but like that was so special and like and it was also so special because I had seen them 19 years prior or something in the parking lot of that venue.
Oh, wow.
So
Right.
it's like to see them play at Bamboozle in the parking lot to selling out 70,000 plus seats is
Right.
it's a proud mama moment, even though I'm not their mother.
That's so fun. So do you also engage with the fandom at all? Like,
I
are you
do.
Are you in like online communities or anything like that?
Yeah, and like that's where it honestly really started for me very early on. I used to be in, I think there were MSN groups back in the day. That was a big message board community where there would like be fan-made websites attached to it. And I made so many friends on there from when I was younger. And I remember when like MSN shut down, like it was heartbreaking because I lost like everybody that I knew from
Right,
that time period, and it was heartbreaking. But then like I went to like the Tumblr communities and the MySpace communities, and I have friends from those communities that like they were at my wedding,
right.
like that they are like my best friends to this day. Um, and to this day, I still, I'm active on Twitter or TikTok, and that's like TikTok was really the big thing that really got me back into that community because it's such an easy place to share experiences and just your collection of stuff and just talking about the things that you love and finding that like-minded community very, very easily. So definitely TikTok has been a wonderful, wonderful community to be a part of, like post-COVID realm days
Yeah,
to reconnect with fandom and get involved that way.
that's so fun.
Yeah.
Online communities are so special, and I
Yeah.
be so frustrated when people kind of brush off online friends as like, oh, they're not real friends. And it's like, I've known these
No,
for like 25 years. What are you talking
exactly. Like it's crazy, but like, oh, you've never met a person that you met on the internet. It's like that's all of my friends.
about?
Like all of my friends that I'm like legitimately close with and that I love dearly. Like that's that's all from the internet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like my first ever my chem tattoo is on my arm. I can't properly show it, but it is the Harry Houdini Hanging Man artwork from their first album. And next to it has lyrics written out by one of my closest friends who I met on MySpace.
That's so fun.
And it's just like that's on my body forever.
Forever.
And I cherish it and I love it. And that's what this is all about. It's that community that
Yeah.
I've gathered throughout this whole time.
That is so beautiful. Oh my
Yeah,
God, no matter what, you are tied to that community in that moment and that,
always.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we've touched on this a little bit, but what makes it different from other interests that you have?
I'm gonna quote a movie that I know we both absolutely love,
Okay.
and that's Almost Famous.
Oh, yes.
And it's that moment of like to love a piece of music or a band so much that it hurts.
But it hurts. Yes.
Like that was that turning point where it's like I was introduced to this band that was just shifted me completely. And that's what made it different. Like I've always been a fan of music. I grew up in a musical family. That's just been my life. But being introduced to this band shifted everything like chemically in my brain, if that makes sense. And it's, at a young age, when I found out about them, I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't know what panic attacks were. I didn't know what OCD was. All I knew is my brain did things a little weird, a little
Right.
different. And finding this connection with this band of these 4 or 5 dudes that are just messed up, just as messed up as you are.
Right.
Like finding that connection and being like, this is different.
Yeah.
Um, and that's when the tides changed and made this like just a part of me forever. And like they've been a part of just so many milestones. Like I said, like, they were my first dance.
Yeah.
I walked down the aisle to a cover of a song that the lead singer did. And like, and not to get sappy, but like
Oh,
my
get set.
mom had a brain tumor.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm getting sappy, but like my mom had a brain tumor back in 2006. She's fine. She's good.
That's good.
Um, but that was around the time that I was faced with mortality.
Hmm.
for the first time, and realizing like, oh, people that you love are not immune to the horrors
Right.
of the world. And just around that same time, like the Black Parade album came out, which is their third album.
Hmm.
And that was like the crutch of all crutches. And it got me through that time, and just like having those moments where it's like they've always been there. And that's what's always been different. And again, that community aspect is just, this is different than any other level of any other band that I've loved. And it's it's been a ride for the last 22 years, and they've been intrinsically a part of like the fibers of my being.
Right.
And
Would they
it's
not
just,
be?
yeah, it's been so nice to have them this whole time. And that's what's just, it's made it different. It's this band that I love so much that it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been able to meet them or any one of them?
The first time I ever saw them at Warped Tour, I did get to say hi to all of them as
Oh,
they're walking to the main stage for
yeah.
their show. And I did get a picture with their drummer at the time. Um, but I have met the singer Gerard. I actually have his sign. Oh, the terrible. Okay, there we go. I have his
Love
signature on my arm. I met him at Comic-Con actually, um,
that.
in 2012. This was pre-breakup, and I did get to meet one of their guitar players, Frank Iero, a couple of times now, because he's also, besides in my chem, he does 50 squillion side projects. So I've been lucky enough to see some of those and meet him there. My husband has met the bass player of my chem working at Comic-Con, which
Oh,
that
wow.
drove me crazy that he stopped off at his booth at Comic-Con, and I was like, that's rude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've gotten to cross paths with them, and that's another wonderful thing about this band is that, like, people are always like, oh, you don't meet your heroes
Hmm.
kind of thing, but they're okay to meet your heroes. Like, they're legitimately wonderful, kind people. And like, I don't think I've heard anybody have a bad experience with them.
Hmm.
Um, and that's very heartwarming. I would love to meet the rest of the band. I would love to meet Ray and Mikey, but that hasn't happened yet. And I hope it happens one day.
I'll cross my
Um,
fingers for you.
Thank you. But it's gotten so much harder now. Like back in the day, you'd pay like, $20 and drop off like 10 pounds of groceries at a venue, and then they'd be like, oh, yeah, you can come meet us. That's not a thing now. I wish it was.
Yeah. That's so wild, though, that you can trace how big they've gotten through the venues and the ability to meet them and things like that, that you've been on the journey with them for such a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is crazy because like I do remember like I saw them at Nassau Coliseum in 2007, and it was like if you showed up early enough, which like tickets for like really good seats, like I had excellent seats like in the lower bowl for like $30,
Mhm.
which that does not happen now. Um, like if you show up early enough, you could drop off like a couple of pounds of like dried goods and some canned groceries, and you'll be like, oh, you can meet them after the show. Um, and like even,
So great.
back in the day that you could just meet them at their merch table,
Yeah.
like that's not a thing now, and I wish it was.
And
But
people will be there forever.
safety,
Yes, safety.
yeah,
Safety.
safety is the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So why should our listeners look into My Chemical Romance if they're not familiar with My Chemical Romance?
Because I think there's something for everybody. I truly think that this is a band that there is a piece that will speak to somebody, no matter what it is. Um, like I would say if you're starting out listening to them, to go with their sophomore album, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, because that is just like them personified in this nice little cute little package that is just like this is us.
It's the perfect introduction to them.
Right.
That was also the album I first heard of theirs too, was
Right.
Three Cheers.
But like if you're a classic rock person, The Black Parade is just like this amazing album about loss and hope, and I feel like anybody can love it from any age range. And just if you just take a trip through their discography, I feel like everyone will find something for them, and you will also be able to maybe realize what their influences are and maybe go from there and listen to other bands that like I have been introduced to because of them, because like they open the doors for me for like so many other bands like Black Flag or the Misfits or Bouncing Souls, like all of these bands that like you can tell that they took influence from. And it's like if you listen to them, maybe you'll find out about somebody new. And I think that's super important. And even like from a musical theater aspect, like they took a lot of like influence from one of my favorite films of all time, which I think everybody should watch, is Phantom of the Paradise.
I've never heard of it.
Oh my God.
Tell me
It
more.
is it is so good. It is the music is written by Paul Williams, my favorite songwriter in the world, who has done, things from The Carpenters to just everything, and Muppet Christmas Carol, which we love.
Mhm.
But it is basically a play on Phantom of the Opera, but it's Phantom of the Paradise, a rock club in Los Angeles, and it's horror, musical theater, campy goodness
That's amazing.
that Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance 100% took so much inspiration from, along with Rocky Horror and things like that, and even like Cabaret, things like that, which like you could see through their discography. They had Liza Minnelli on one of their songs on the Black Parade. So they, if you listen to their discography, you will find out about other things that you will like too. It
Yeah,
will open up your realm for so many different things, and it may just open you up to something new you have never heard before.
I love that. I love that it gives you the opportunity for your world to expand in ways you didn't know. And
Yeah,
one of my favorite things about doing this podcast is after every episode, I pretty much have something new to go watch or listen to or read. And I'm
yeah,
just like making the mental notes like, well, now I have to watch this because it sounds like it's freaking amazing.
yeah. And so watch Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah.
That is one. But yeah, this band just has something for everybody, and they are timeless. Like even though, you know, their heyday is probably the 2004 to 2007 era. That was like their heyday, but it is timeless. It truly is just like it feels like these albums could have been written yesterday and
Yeah.
still have been fresh and new and wonderful. Um, so I think there's something for everybody in there.
That's amazing. Is there anything else you would like people to know about before we close? Your fandom in general, Mike Hem in general?
Not my chem in general, but in fandoms in general and music in general, keep going to shows.
Yeah,
Live music is the most important thing, I think, in the world.
absolutely.
And I think we need to keep that up, even if it becomes, I know it's becoming unattainable for a lot of people, and that's awful, and that's a whole conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Um, just keep listening to music, keep finding new wonderful bands to listen to.
Yes. And go
And
all because you got to
yes,
support the bands when they're babies. Otherwise, they'll never get to the big stages.
right. You will never get the next My Chemical Romance if you don't support the little ones in their basements or your weird little club in the middle of Queens.
The VFW hall, the church base.
Ex
Yeah.
exactly. We need more church basement and VFW hall shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I
Amazing.
have a question for you
For me, okay.
because I feel like you've done a lot of questions,
Yes.
and this is a direct reference to something I referenced earlier. So, Valerie, what do you love about music?
Oh, fuck you. Begin with everything.
There we go. Correct answer.
Thank you. Uh, but yeah, I think what I love about music is, as the genuine answer, is that moment, the the things you leave out, right? That little whoop. Now I'm just
Hmm.
quoting Almost Famous at you. But um it's those little moments in the recording that become like gospel when you're sitting alone in the dark and you're going through shit,
Yeah.
and that band, that album is the only thing like tethering you back to reality, and you're
Yeah.
like dissociating, having a hard time, but you're still connected, you're still there. And
Yeah.
then you get to finally experience that live and you're like having this outer body experience. You're
Hmm.
maybe crying, you're screaming your head off, you're
Right.
experiencing all the emotions that you could possibly be experiencing at the same
Yeah.
time, and you look like you're should be committed. And, and you're just having the best time of your life.
Yeah.
And you know every single person in that room gets it.
Yeah.
And you can turn to your left and turn to your right, and like you're just like smiling with one another, like, yeah, this is it. This is
Yeah.
what we stay alive for.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I love about music.
Ditto. Same. It's the best feeling in the world, truly.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for asking me, and thank you
No,
for
of course.
here
Of course.
telling me all about My Chemical Romance.
I
I've
could stay here all night.
I've been listening to them hardcore in preparation because
Oh.
they're always on my big playlist of everything I listen to,
Hmm.
but they're not a band that I usually just sit down and listen to exclusively their music in a row.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta get hyped, I gotta get ready. And God, there's so many bangers. I
I
don't know
know.
how they do it. They're wizards.
They are. They truly are. And I would love new music from them. And I hope 2026 is the year. I'm
You'll
not holding out hope, but I hope.
they just keep being perfect, and we'll just keep being happy that we're here and get to experience it.
Exactly. It's the experience that matters. And even if they decide to never put out a new song again, I'm cool with it because what they've put into the world is enough.
Oh,
Truly.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Olivia, for being with
No,
me.
of course, and thank you for having me. This
Yeah,
is wonderful, and I appreciate what you do because this is important to share these moments with people just from any fandom, any walk of life. It's important.
I agree. I think it's there's so much, especially right now, like negativity and hatred, and it's
Yeah.
nice to focus on what people love and what makes them happy for a
Yeah.
change for
We
30 minutes or so.
we need that. We need that positivity and what makes us human,
Yes.
truly.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and tune in next time.